And we are live. So,
Woo!
hey everyone, and happy almost New Year. So, today I'm here with my friend Matthew. Once again, thank you for coming and being live on my channel, Matthew.
You're so welcome. Like we've had so much fun over the years doing this. Like whenever you say, "Want to do a live stream?" The answer is yes, yes, all the yes.
Yeah, I like looking back on our live streams too. I was just watching the last one we did before we met up before going live tonight. So, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jamal Breezy is already in the chat. So, welcome, Jamal.
Hello, hello.
So tonight we are going to be discussing the year in music, and I
Hmm.
think we both can agree that even though the world was ending all around us as it
Yes.
continues to be ravaged by the C word virus, it was an amazing year for music.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I thought it'd be fun to come on here before the end of the year and just summarize everything we were listening to that we really liked, maybe some
Hmm.
misses if those happen to come up. Um, but yeah, any thoughts on the year as a whole, Matthew?
Like you said, the world was ending around us, but musically we were saved. Hallelujah.
Yeah, it just happened to be like most, if not all, of our faves were active and doing something.
Yeah, especially one in particular, which I will get to a little bit later, that
Hmm.
I did not expect to ever,
Right,
ever be active again.
right. Jamal says, just letting y'all know, Utari Hikaru is my future baby mama. Sorry I stumbled on that, but I'm not sure if Utada is aware of that, so. By the way, as far as Utada news, um, Utada did update her slash their Instagram with preferred pronouns, which is she or her or their they. Yeah, she
She,
slash they.
ah,
Yeah,
so now we have an answer to the great pronoun mystery,
right.
because for a while we did not know. So
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I think it was back in it was Pride Month that Utada announced the non-binary status. So
yeah, we love a legend that can come out as non-binary while meanwhile having their bear come out as gay.
yeah. um yeah, it was nice to see Kuma actually still is like in Utada's apartment, like in Utada's life. So
Yeah, because we haven't seen too much of Kuma over the last several years. So
mhm.
yeah.
Um
And speaking of Hickey, do you want to just get started with the year in Utada, or
yeah, so I did upload a Utada news video. That was my most recent video. Oh, Becky is here. Hello, Becky, and welcome.
hello, hello?
Um, so Utada is releasing her new album next month, so we don't have long to wait now.
Not at
Um,
all. I'm so excited.
yeah, January is going to be Utada month, and we did get a music video this month for Kimi ni Muchu,
Yeah.
which I still need to edit my review of that single. But we did get blessed with a couple singles from Utada this year, which is obviously in my top releases of the year.
Mm-hmm. I was looking through your playlist and saw like One Last Kiss and Kimi no Muchu and
And Pink Blood.
Pink Blood was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was all the releases this year, other than like the One Last Kiss compilation with like
Mm-hmm.
the Beautiful World remix on it and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So what did you think of Utada's singles this year?
I really liked all of them. That's not a surprise because I pretty much like every single song of Utada's with a few exceptions here or there. Like I still can't stomach the workout. That song is just trash. But I liked all of them, and I will say this though, that the kind of like staggered release of these singles through the years is kind of throwing me off because we
Mhm.
didn't really know when an album was coming.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, all of these singles are going to be on the album. How much new material is there going to possibly be?
Right. Yeah, that's something I'm really curious about too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to hear the full version of what was that song that she did for Shiseido? Find Love, I
Find
think.
Love.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear that. Sounded absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear that, and I can't wait to hear the album as a whole. But yeah, I'm just like, where are we going with all these releases? Like, it used to be so structured.
Mhm. It's hard to believe it's been over a year since, like, Time came out and Utada made a comeback, and we were like, "Oh, is she working on a new album?" Or
Yeah.
yeah.
And like, wait, what? That's been a year? Wait,
Yeah.
holy.
It's been, like, a year and a half now
Wow.
because that came out in the spring of 2020.
Wow. And we have Jamal Breezy in the chat here saying, I loved Time, which,
Mhm.
yeah, Time was really good. That music video was trippy as
Yeah.
all hell. I was like, did I like take acid and wake up in like some sort of fever dream? What the hell?
Yeah. What they were able to do with it, just filming it in Utada's flat was amazing, though.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And, same with the One Last Kiss video, like,
Yeah.
filming it in Utada's flat and just around, like, the London area. It was really actually, it probably wasn't even London, it's some other, like, village that I'm not aware of. It's, like, Brighton or something like that. Um, but yeah. We also got the Pink Blood video this
Hmm.
year, which was amazing.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then the video for Kimi ni Muchu, a little less amazing, but still a very welcome addition to Utada's discography.
Yeah. The song itself is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
The song itself is
I'm
amazing.
I'm very obsessed with the song.
Yeah, I figured you would be.
Yeah. So next, did you want to talk about your fave?
Yes. And we've already done multiple live streams on this, I think.
Yeah.
This year. This is Crystal K's cover album I Sing,
Hmm.
and I do know she has been in the studio a lot lately.
Yeah.
So hopefully new album 2022. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, she did put out a couple new singles, right? And then she was featured on someone else's single.
Right. And then she
Yeah.
did like the Masked Singer Japan, and
Mhm.
she toured. She just wrapped her tour for I Sing.
Mhm.
She did that Christmas tour that she usually does every year.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a very big tour, was it?
No, I think there were 4 stops, 4 or
Okay.
5, something like that.
Mhm.
Like there was one in Billboard Tokyo, one in Yokohama. I think there were a couple in Osaka,
Mhm.
and that was pretty much it.
Oh, Jamal is saying new artist for me to look into.
Blasphemy! What?
No, let's be supportive. Like Matthew said, send Jamal some recommendations to start
Y-
with.
Yes, as yeah, I will send you some recommendations because that just shocked me. I'm like, wait, people don't know. Like, I knew Crystal was underrated. We all know that
Mhm.
at this point, but she's been around for over 20 years, so it's like, yeah, that shocks. That's shocking, but I have a full playlist on Spotify if you want it. Yeah.
um, yeah. So, what were your favorites off of I Sang?
Well, like I said in our review video earlier, uh, El Mayo, don't judge me. Sorry. I pretty much liked just about every single track.
Mhm.
There were no skips on this album for me, but definitely Uta Taino Ballad, which we got into a little bit of a fight on last time We talked about this, but I liked that one. I liked obviously I Love. Suki was great. Uh, what else could I have on there? Nandamo Naya was one that I really liked.
Hmm.
One More Time, One More Chance. I could basically list something I liked about every single one of these tracks.
Yeah. Crystal's voice is so powerful; it really can carry like any kind of song. So
Absolutely.
it's really hard
Hmm.
to find fault in most of her songs.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And if you want to get a little bit more in depth with Crystal and the Icing release, I'm sure Emily will be able to link both of our previous live stream thingamabobs
Yeah, we did
in the
talk about
description section.
it, like in a whole live
Yeah,
stream dedicated to it. So,
yeah, we did that and the CK10 tour review,
hmm
which I finally got that on Blu-ray.
yeah.
Oh,
And then Crystal acknowledged you again on Instagram and was saying how hard it is. That she knows how hard it is to get that live.
oh God.
Mm.
I spent 8 years looking for this.
It's
8 years.
crazy.
So finally got that, that was one of my Christmas gifts to myself. So
So yeah, gorgeous cover album, and looking forward to see if Crystal comes out with an original next year.
absolutely. Fingers crossed because she's got a lot of momentum right now as far
Hmm.
as, like I said, the Masked Singer. She's reprising her role in Pippin, I believe.
Okay.
And like I said, she's been working on stuff in the studio. So uh, all signs point to an album release at some point. We just don't know when.
All right.
So
Okay, so my next pick, I also talked about on live stream with you in our Gems live stream,
right.
which is Chanmina's Bijin single.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, I already talked about it at length, but Chamina really blew me away with the song and video. And then I also picked Morning Mood off of this. I believe I kept it on my playlist. But yeah, if you guys are watching this and don't follow me on Twitter, I did link on my Twitter a playlist I made of all my favorite songs that came out this past year.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, did I say Morning Mood? That was the other song that I think I included on the list. But yeah, I decided to include the single because I don't know, like I just didn't end up loving the full album as much as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple songs on Harenchi, the album that kind of grated on me. So I thought like the 4 songs on here was kind of a stronger release. But
Yeah.
I still have Harenchi, and it's really really beautiful album art. So another pink and purple release for me that I really like.
Yeah. I mean, when you talked about the song and I hadn't listened to it, I think the first thing I did after we got off that Gems live stream was go look at the video for it.
Mm.
And I was just blown away.
Below it.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Hmm.
Like, she is the real deal.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree
100,
with you.
100%. Jamal Breezy in the chat. Oof, Crystal K is cute. You right, you right. Now gotta hear that voice. Trust me, her voice is beautiful.
Yeah, her voice is just as beautiful as she is.
Yeah. Uh, First track obviously has to be Motherland. So look that up. I'm serious. That song, it's been 10 years since I've heard that song.
Hmm.
And it still makes me cry.
Mm.
Like, you remember how emotional I got while discussing it while we were reviewing
Yeah.
CK10. So, yeah.
So what was the next thing you
The
had listened
next
to?
thing that I wanted to bring attention to are these. these are two of Aaliyah's albums, and Aaliyah's music was finally made available on streaming and CD, and it's going to be coming out on vinyl next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really exciting. I remember being like 8 years old, listening to Rock the Boat, thinking it was actually about a boat. Spoiler alert, it's not. But yeah, she is just an icon, and it was
Mm-hmm.
really I spent a lot of time like re-listening to both of those albums, like just over and over, and I'm like, my god, the look, the tone, the songwriting, the production,
Mm-hmm.
like my goodness. Like, and they just recently put out that single with The Weeknd, called Poison.
Oh yeah, I still didn't listen to it.
Like I said, like I told you, the mixing could be a bit better, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as like the overall vibe and the songwriting and stuff, I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I gotta say, like, when I first saw that it announced the Aaliyah revival with like other artists, modern day artists being featured with her, that I was really, really disappointed. That it was a lot of male artists who aren't really known for their like respect of women.
yeah,
And unfortunately, part of Aaliyah's legacy is how she was over sexualized as a young teen.
hmm
And I really
we
wish that,
we all know about those that scenario. Oh God,
yeah. So, like, I felt like bringing her back posthumously with these male artists that maybe would have been all too happy to, join in on that with Tina
yeah.
Leah, like
I mean,
it felt.
not getting Beyonce on a track with her is a crime.
Well, I just think about the other artists that she worked with when she was alive, like Missy Elliott is like
hmm
right there, it's
Yeah,
like what happened
Timbaland.
with that? Timbaland,
I know her and Hickey
mhm.
uh uh
They
had some
met.
kind of friendship.
Yeah, so they met in Japan, and Hikaru got to interview Aaliyah for a radio,
Yeah.
like an English radio show.
hmm
Oh, Jamal actually does know Crystal Gay.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, that is the third ending theme to Full Metal Alchemist. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the first song I ever heard by her as well.
Yeah, me too. I like it was one of the first time I heard Motherland, it was like an out of body experience. It was incredible.
Yeah, that whole soundtrack just one of the best in anime history.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember looking up the music video to Motherland, like in the early days of YouTube, and
Mhm.
I had no idea who Crystal K was, like as an
Yeah.
artist.
Mhm.
And I saw that video, I was like, oh my god, she's biracial singing Japanese. Like this is amazing.
Yeah. Like for about a month and a half, I had no idea what she looked like
Hmm.
because I would just look at lyric videos because I didn't really know the Japanese super well at that point. And let's be completely honest, I don't know Japanese on a conversational level super well still to this day. But I obviously wanted to hear more of her songs and learn the lyrics, and that's what I did. And then I looked her up, and my God, she was gorgeous,
Hmm.
like just absolutely gorgeous. So,
And then probably you're the same as me, where you found like her collaborations with M-Flo.
hmm
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like this slaps.
I found her collaborations with Mflo. I think the other one that I had was one, which was the
Hmm.
Pokemon theme.
Okay, yeah. It's all good, Jamal.
Yeah. But yeah, so definitely very, very special artist. And like, if I ever get to meet her, I will literally keel over. I will literally be a sobbing, hysterical mess. But
Yeah. Um, but yeah, okay, so going back to Aaliyah, on a positive note, I was actually getting really emotional just seeing a lot of people talking about her.
hmm yeah,
Because like I was a big fan of her when I was a young teen, and losing her was like such a crazy shock. I think I was like 13 when she passed away.
wow.
And yeah, so it was like a really formative time. And I had her Red album. And I used to listen to that like nonstop.
And
And
I mean, so many iconic songs that she did in such a short time.
yeah, she was really big at the time and really influential. And just seeing a lot of people talking about her again, like 20 years later,
Yeah,
and talking about how much of an impact she had, like made me really emotional. And um, yeah, really glad to see her music being accessed by the new generation.
me too, for sure. Because Aaliyah was one of the last major holdouts uh, in the streaming era. Her music was not available.
Hmm.
And so now that it is, and not only can us longtime fans, but also like newer fans, and like you said, the newer generation can now know exactly what we're talking about when we talk about the power and the influence and just the general brilliance that Aaliyah had in her career and in her life.
Hmm.
And it's like listening to Poison for the first time. I got really emotional
Yeah.
just because it was the first time that I was hearing her sing something new for the first time in a really long time.
Hmm.
And it was just like, who knows who she would be and what kind of music she would have been able to give to us had she not been so tragically taken from us at such a young age.
Hmm.
Like, I just kept thinking back to, my goodness, I wish she was still here.
Yeah. I feel like the whole landscape of American music would be different if she were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Hmm.
All right, so
Before we start crying, let's move
yeah,
on.
yeah. So
uh,
do you want
my
to?
turn next? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So the next album release, actually, that I was very excited for was Milia, who seems to just be going by this mononym Milia now.
yeah,
Her full stage name is Kato Milia.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I haven't really heard much about the name change. But anyway, this is her latest studio album, Who Loves Me,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, not in love with this cover. It
Me
really,
neither.
really
Me
reminds me
neither.
of Kyari Pamu's album.
Oh
I think
God.
her first album, like the cover looked like this.
Yeah, one of them did for sure.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of that. There
No.
was like an interior photo that I really liked, that I really wanted to be the album cover. But oh, Jamal says I love her in Queen of the Damned. Yeah, so going back to Aaliyah, I love that film too.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Yeah, it's like admittedly corny. It's like a vampire movie, but
Yeah, I know what it's about. It's based off the Anne Rice novels, right?
yeah, another legend lost. So
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah, I'm a big fan of hers also. Um, oh yeah, this photo.
Okay, that is much better.
Yeah,
That is
that's
much better.
so whatever. Amelia had a big year this year. She did a couple like TV appearances, and then she also had a tribute album come out.
Did her man woman cover album come out this year too? Or
Yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna say. So she also had like a double cover album. So she had like artists covering her, and then she also covered artists.
yeah,
And
including some of my our favorite songs favorite artists on the female side of things,
mhm,
which I thought was interesting.
yeah. And she also was in the media a lot. I think it was this year because she kind of got outed with her husband, who is kind of this famous, infamous womanizer.
Oh,
So like it wasn't public before, like who she was with, like who her baby daddy was and stuff. But
hmm
he's like a TV chef, I think, and yeah, I think she's like his third wife or something like that. But
ooh,
yeah, it was kind of a scandal, but
yeah.
any press is good press for Amelia.
Apparently.
Um, but yeah, I really loved the song Double Kiss.
hmm
And uh, she put out a song with the Yoshida brothers.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not on this album. It's like a separate single,
Okay.
but it is on Spotify.
hmm
And I really enjoyed that. That is on my playlist as well. And then I really like the song Wing, but it's not on my playlist because it technically came out in 2020 as a single.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do really like this album. The only downside I would say is that it's kind of like standard for her.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly what I expected it to be. So
Yeah.
um
I mean, Milia has just had this run of really kind of consistent albums to me, if not necessarily overly remarkable
mhm.
kind of albums, starting with probably Loveland,
Yeah.
then moving on through Liberty, Utopia,
Utopia, Femme
Femme
Fatale.
Fatale, and now
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, they're all kind of in the same lane.
Yeah.
Since she put out Liberty, or no, since she put out Loveland, like you said.
hmm
Um Jamal says Matthew knows his books. Matthew knows everything. He has like photographic memory, like remembers everything and like a Rolodex in his brain.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I definitely know my books, and we're both
Yeah.
writers too, so
hmm
yeah. And speaking of that, I just want to plug very quickly that we are going to be doing a second live stream in 2 days over on my channel, talking about our 10 favorite books of 2021, plus maybe a few honorable mentions as well.
Yeah, I think the honorable mentions are going to be on your side because I am struggling to come up with even 10.
Yeah,
So,
I narrowed it down to 15 out of 101 books that I've read so far this year. Not
oh
sorry,
wow.
not 15, 13. But still.
Still over 100 books so far in the year is crazy.
Yeah, plus I'm reading like 2 or 3 right now, trying to get them done before the year
Yeah.
is over.
I always get that too at the end of the year where I'm like trying to crunch in the last couple books.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so Matthew's channel is linked in the video description. So
hmm
make sure you sub and then you'll catch us live there on Thursday.
Yep. Initially it was gonna be Friday, but you got some last minute New Year's Eve
Yeah.
plans, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So did you want to talk about another thing you had in mind?
I can't not. Sorry.
Right. No need to apologize.
This is ABBA's newest studio album, their first in 40 years.
40
Voyage.
years is insane.
Yeah, it's I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this is an absolute miracle of an
hmm
album, because it's one of those things that every ABBA fan, hoped and wished for, but until it was actually announced. Never actually thought it would happen.
Yeah.
And then it did. And I just remember the first time I listened to this album all the way through, I was listening with Unholy Triforce.
Mhm.
And we were DMing on Instagram back and forth, listening to it. And I was just like sobbing my eyes out in joy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, ABBA's been my favorite band since I was 7 years old. So
Yeah.
I have been waiting for 18 years for something like this, and then
Considering they've been gone for 40 years,
yeah.
I guess it must have been really unexpected for you that they made a comeback.
I mean, they did announce in 2018 that they had reunited for a couple of songs,
Mhm.
and then those got delayed because of like technical. I'm trying to keep this in frame. But those got delayed for technical reasons, and then the COVID pandemic obviously
Mhm.
delayed it, and then they finally made the announcement. And I kid you not, I played that part of the live stream where they announced the album over and over and over again. And then
Mhm.
even uh, like just it took actually having uh, the CD and vinyl. And yes, I did double dip for both. Obviously, it took me actually physically having it in my hands to like fully believe it was
Mhm.
actually here and it was happening, and it was like, oh my God. Like I did a whole like unboxing of it on my channel.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely probably the most unexpected release of the year for me, in a very good way. And
Mhm.
the album itself is beautiful from start to finish. So I was really very pleased. I don't know if this is the end of ABBA as we know it, but if it is, one hell of a comeback and a farewell.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you weren't disappointed in it at all.
I know I was so nervous. Like I was like, oh my God, am I just like I knew I liked the two singles that were released prior.
Mhm.
But then it's like, am I gonna like the rest of the album? And yep, 100%. And I've seen a lot of mixed criticism about the album because it's like it's stuck in the past and blah blah blah, right?
Mhm.
But you have to understand that ABBA made music in the 70s and their last album was in 1981.
Yeah.
So if they had modernized in any way, it would have been something of a scandal, in my opinion.
Yeah, don't you think none of the fans would have liked it if they had?
Yeah, like I think it would have been liked because it's ABBA, and there's just something about uh, Enyefa and Frida's voices together, and Benny and Bjorn's songwriting that like it's top notch.
Mhm.
But I don't think as many people would have liked it had they modernized their sound. So in that way, I'm like, really? Like,
Mhm.
what can you expect from a bunch of 70-plus-year-old doing this for the first time in 40 years?
Yeah.
And above all, I think I probably respect the risk of it all
Mm.
because, their back catalog is so revered. It's
Mhm.
amongst the finest in all of pop music.
Mm.
So the risk of doing new material was enormous. And they were under no obligation to do any of it at all.
Well, yeah, when you said they're in their 70s, I was thinking, like, how many 70-year-olds are still working, let alone, like, pulling long hours in the studio and like putting together creative projects like a full-on album.
And that's not the end of it. There's a live show that's going to be taking place in London next year.
Oh, okay, cool.
In the UK, in a custom built arena.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, ABBA actually built an arena.
Oh my god.
Is building an arena right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically got on stage for the first time in 4 decades in front of 160 cameras and
Mm-hmm.
motion captured this entire concert so that it could be performed by digital versions of themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool.
So that they can, because that was the whole thing, was ABBA has always said, we're never going to reform and tour again because we
Mm-hmm.
want people to remember us how we were. So this
Mm.
is in this way, with the motion capture and the Avatar project that they did and are doing, they've been able to not only release new music but also perform it. Like when you go to the show, it's going to be their movements, their voice. It's just gonna look like they were in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out a music video for the song "I Still Have Faith in You,"
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the lead singles off of the Voyage project.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if you watch the end of it, it's got the actual digital copies of themselves performing the
Okay.
song, and it is so cool. It looks so good, and I'm so jealous of every single person who's getting tickets to see them in London because I am broke and I cannot travel. So
So they made themselves look younger in the music video as well.
yes. Mhm.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
basically what it was is they teamed up with George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic, to create the digital versions of themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
then they did about 5 weeks of motion capture,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be the basis for the concert in this arena. So
Mm, okay.
yeah,
That's
so
funny
that's
that
very like like you said, they range in age from 71 to 76.
mm-hmm.
Who what other 70-plus-year-olds are doing that kind of thing?
Yeah. There's a
It's
couple old
amazing.
rock stars, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, definitely my most anticipated and probably my best comeback, to be honest, of the
mhm.
year for sure.
Jamal said in the chat, writers really. I I think I said that in the wrong inflection. Writers really,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe we could talk about it on your channel later this week. But
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, we both are writers, and we've been writing together on like chat or video chat for the past few weeks.
Yeah, that's been so much fun. And it's been
Yeah,
so productive.
it's been really successful. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Matthew has 2 novels on the go,
Yeah.
and I'm writing my second novel as well.
Mhm.
So yeah,
It's a whole experience. And yeah.
yeah. And my second novel has something to do with J-pop,
Mhm.
so I'm very excited to be writing about that.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. I was excited when you told me the content. I'm like, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, getting back on track.
Mhm.
So this, when I was looking through my CDs, I had a heart attack because I like completely forgot I even bought this. I was like, where the hell did this come from? um, so this is Ayumi Hamasaki's latest collection. Um, this literally, I have zero recollection of buying this, but I don't know if I just like blacked out on CD Japan one day. But it's Ayumi Hamasaki Ballads too,
Mhm.
and the main reason I wanted this is because it comes with her whole collection of music videos
Mm-hmm.
for all of the um, songs on here.
Yeah. Very similar to Namie's Ballada release in that way.
Yeah, and I really splashed out for this one to get the Blu-ray version.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like none of you guys could call me an IU hater now because I paid my hard-earned money for this to get a Blu-ray best of collection from Ayumi Hamasaki.
Yeah.
It helps that it's this like beautiful lilac color. It's like one of my favorite
Yeah,
colors.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I really liked IU's 2 singles from this year.
23rd Monster, I remember. And what was the first one again? I can't remember the first one. It's the name for the life of me.
Haru Yokoi.
Right, right.
Yeah, I really like both. 23rd Monster is kind of like a rock, like a IU rock power ballad.
And she's always done really well with those like rockier kind of songs, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of like Kodakumi, where she just kind of has the voice for them.
Yeah, I think it really suits her. Her guitarist honestly like pisses me off, but he did well in that song.
Mm-hmm.
In this new song, and then Haru Yokoi is like a very Japanese spring. Obviously, Haru is spring, like springtime. Very like delicate, mystical sounding song.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought it was like a really beautiful release.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, IU definitely came correct. And the only question I have now, where's the album?
Yeah, I think that's what all of her fans have been begging for quite a while.
I know, because the last time she released anything new, I think, other than singles, because we got Dream to Dream last year, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or in 2019. I think the last album she released was Made in Japan,
Mm-hmm. I think
and
so.
then
Yeah.
and then she did that Trouble EP in like 2018, and that is the last new thing that she's put out. So
Yeah, and she toured the hell out of Trouble for like over 2 years.
yeah, which
Everyone was like, "Ma'am, go back to the studio."
yeah, I mean dedication. I mean she really milked it, but
She is super dedicated. Like she gave birth to her second child and then she was like back on stage in a couple weeks. And
yeah,
then she broke her ankle on stage and again we just went back on stage in a wheelchair.
yeah, respect,
Yeah.
absolute respect for that.
Mhm.
So are we good? Can I move on to my next thing
Of
or?
course, yeah, please do.
Okay, so I think you might not like this album or this artist, but I really do. So this is Adele's newest album, 30, which I think is her best album yet. Holy. Like, this is her divorce album, and it is so fucking emotional.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a point in a song, what song is it? My Little Love,
Mhm.
where she's like just having a conversation about, you know, uh, the breakdown of her marriage and how she's literally crying while she's saying, today's the first day since I left him that I felt lonely, and I never feel lonely, and
Mm.
so th- and her voice is beautiful on this record from top to bottom. The
Mhm.
songs are so deeply personal and uh, also just like really kind of like stick in your head too. Like I
Mm.
had Easy on Me in my head for months when it was released, and I'm like, yes. So definitely for sure, I really appreciated this release, and it was another really great comeback this year.
Mhm.
So also that vinyl is beautiful. It's like a white on the inside.
Oh, cool.
It's like a white vinyl, and I'm obsessed with it. Yes.
I love the different colored vinyls.
So do I.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the last of my CDs that I pulled. But definitely still have some more things to talk about. So I was telling Matthew off air that I do have CL's latest album, Alpha,
Mm-hmm.
on CD, but it is in my car. And I didn't realize until about 5 minutes before
Before the
we pressed
stream,
live.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't have time to go get it. But
That album was amazing. You sent it. You sent it to me, and like you have to listen to this, and I'm like, okay, because like I trust your recommendations implicitly at this point, no matter what it is.
oh, thank you.
And so I listened to it, and I'm like, okay, this is like the best K-pop album that's been released in 2021.
Yeah, when you said K-pop album, I was kind of like blew my hair back because it kind of just like transcends all.
Yeah,
Like K-pop is not really a genre, I guess. It is in a way, but I don't know. Like when I was listening to it, I never once thought about it as K-pop. It's
a
just like
K-pop album.
it's like the
Yeah.
CL print, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it was definitely a long overdue release. I think it's been delayed like 3 times.
Yeah, we've been waiting for years, like 7 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was quite a journey. Like CL started releasing singles for it before she was on the label she's currently on. Like she was just independently putting out songs and videos.
Right. I remember
And
that.
yeah, so her songs from last year were on my top songs of the year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still really into them, like still actively listening to them. And then I'm very, very into her singles that she included for the album release this year.
Yeah.
Especially Thai Cherry. It has become like one of my favorite songs of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
That was a stand-up for me when I listened to it as well.
yeah, it just grew on me a lot. Like when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this is cool. And then like it just became an earworm, or like I
Yeah.
absolutely had to like I was thinking of the song and then I absolutely have to listen to it. And then I have to listen to it like 5 times in a row.
Yeah. That was kind of like me with the Rina Sawayama album last year.
hmm
I could not stop listening to that for months.
Yeah, same.
And I still listen to it occasionally now and then, especially because we're going to see her live.
Yeah, her performances look so good. Like the little clips I've been seeing that she's done so far.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, here's an interesting question. I don't know if I can click on it or whatever, so it can be brought up on screen.
Oh, maybe I can.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I
Uh,
can.
how do y'all feel about Selena? Uh, how do you say that name? Quintanilla?
Quintanilla?
Quintanilla? Yeah. I think she just went uh mononymously by Selena.
Oh, Selena, yeah.
Yeah, she was a Latin singer, from what I understand. Um,
Right.
I've listened to her like casually. I've never really like dove deep into her music, but
hmm
what I've seen and heard, I've liked. So,
Yeah, she's another artist who was tragically killed too young.
hmm
Um, I Yeah, I can't say I can name any of her songs, but I am
yeah,
like she's such a big figure in pop culture that I could recognize her, and I know J Lo played her in the biopic, and I know all about like her death.
yeah, which is
So
kind of morbid, but
yeah, um, it's a really interesting story. Like she was killed by one of her super fans who like got really close to her, and she ended up Selena hired her as like part of her team, and then
yeah,
yeah, she ended up murdering Selena. So,
yeah,
um, but if you are a fan, we definitely are open to suggestions. Like if you have any albums or playlists you'd like to send our way, I'd definitely love to check it out. I am really into Spanish music, actually.
yeah.
uh,
I listen to music from all around the world, so
yeah, exactly. There's so much amazing world music.
hmm
Um, I really love Ozuna and um, yeah, I can't think Bad Bunny. He's kind
yeah,
of like broken into the American market, but
hmm hugely, yeah,
there's a lot of huge Spanish speaking artists that they have a big following, but we don't really know of them. But actually, I've noticed like the couple times that I do hear the radio, There's more and more Spanish music coming over here, like all the way up to Canada,
Yeah.
which is really interesting.
Mhm.
That's getting like mainstream radio play,
Yeah.
as well as like BTS. I hear all the time also here.
Oh god, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, so
And let's just be perfectly clear. We do not hate BTS. I've been a fan of them since like 2013.
oh,
I think their early Korean stuff is amazing.
oh really?
I
I've actually never listened to them.
wow. Uh but yeah, like their songs like Coffee and No and I Need You, all of that like early stuff from before they got really big over here in North America
Hmm.
was fantastic. And then it just kind of became very mainstream. And
Yeah.
a lot of like the K-pop fans in the US went on a whole tangent about how they discovered BTS,
Mm.
whereas someone who was interested in Asian music back when they were starting out, I'm like, no, you did not, but
Mm.
okay.
Um, yeah, actually, I did listen to their song with Halsey.
Yeah.
I liked that when it came out.
Hmm.
Boy with Love, that was on my workout playlist
Yeah.
in like 2019 or whenever it came out.
Yeah. Hmm. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stand that Dynamite song.
Oh god, that is
Such
thank you
uh
for saying it so I did not have to. Oh god.
such a flaming pile of trash.
Yeah.
I went to the nail salon today. I went to the nail salon today and they're usually playing Netflix there, which is really weird, but love them. They put on Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
And like my nail artist, he always says like, "Hey Emily," like he remembers my name. So like, I was like, "Did you put this on for me?" when I came in, and he's like, "Oh no, but that's really funny. Like it could be about you." He's like, when I saw it, I was like, "What is she doing in Paris?" but there's a part in it where one of the characters is performing a cover of Dynamite,
Yeah.
and I was like, I just can't fucking escape BTS ever.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. So
that's the end of the nail salon story.
all right. So the third to last one that I picked out is an album you still have not listened to and I'm so mad at you.
Yeah.
Brandy Carlisle's latest studio album, In These Silent Days, and as you can see, this is a signed vinyl
Ooh, it's beautiful.
edition. And if you open this up, which I'm not going to open this up because I would just like damage it probably.
Oh, so you're never ever gonna open it?
No, I will open it, but it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like not on camera because I'll probably damage it.
Yeah, you
I
need
did,
to get like a small knife or something.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, this album is incredible, and she was coming. Brittany Carlisle has slowly gotten more and more mainstream over the years, which I've really been appreciative of because she is just a phenomenal talent.
Hmm.
And that was my one success with the country playlist I sent you was Brandy Carlisle. So I was very pleased with that for sure.
Hmm.
I was very pleased with myself.
Yeah, I do consider myself a stan now.
Love that.
Yeah. I did tell you why I've been avoiding listening to it though, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I just
You're afraid that you're gonna cry.
I know I'm probably gonna just bawl my eyes out and my eyes gonna be all puffy and like I don't know. I just need to wait for like the right moment when I
Yeah, it's great, like sad vibes kind of music.
Mhm.
But there's just something about her that is so captivating.
Mhm.
be it live or on record. I really, really hope I get the chance to see her live at some point
Mhm.
if the music industry ever goes back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, her voice is just incredible.
Yeah, and her songwriting, my God.
Mhm.
Like, I remember the first era that I was a part of was the By the Way, I Forgive You era,
Mhm.
which is where she won like 3 Grammys and was nominated for 6 back in
Yeah.
2018, 2019. I remember hearing The Joke, uh, that first uh, verse of it could literally have been describing me.
Mm.
You know, you're feeling nervous, aren't you, boy? With your quiet voice and impeccable, like that.
Mhm.
Like, I really felt that. And then, she had amazing songs on that album, like Sugartooth and Fulton County Jane Doe, and just so many incredible tracks. And then I went back to 2015 and all of her earlier stuff, and then she dropped this, and it was like uh, my first like full era as a stan,
Mhm.
which was really special and exciting. So
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely incredible album. You need to listen to it
Yeah, definitely do.
ASAP.
No, I do.
Yeah.
Um, so kind of jumping off from CL,
Hmm.
I became a huge fan of DPR Ian last year.
I have no
Um,
idea who that is.
so DPR Ian is a guy named Christian Yu,
Hmm.
and he is a former model.
Okay.
So he's super attractive,
Yeah, I
but
figured.
that's not the only reason why I'm standing. So CL collaborated with him on a track I had on my top favorites in 2020 called No Blueberries.
Okay.
And um, I was immediately really taken by the song. And then the video, like, I was obsessed with.
Hmm.
So Ian, or Christian, he's been going by Ian lately. I think he's mixed, like Korean with something.
Hmm.
And he's from Australia.
Oh, love that.
And I
That's
know, like,
Australia's on my travel. Like Australia and Japan are like my top 2
oh, really? I
travel.
thought you were gonna say the accent.
Yeah, the accent's sexy too.
Yeah,
Let's not kid ourselves, but
I know. It's like when you hear him talk in English, she was like, it's like the
hmm
hottest accent ever coming out of like the hottest man.
I know.
Um, um, but yeah, so the video they put out for No Blueberries,
Which weird song title, mind you, but
yeah, but
we're used to that. I mean, Utada Hikaru literally has a song called "I Am a Bear" and
oh
the
yeah,
Cilantro song
yeah, and Pink Blood,
and
which
Pink
she
Blood.
still won't explain.
Yeah.
um, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the video. So he hasn't really explained the story in his videos, but
hmm
he's kind of haunted by this entity in the videos from this album that came out this year.
Okay.
And um, he works with his friend who's going by the name DPR Live.
Okay.
So this whole DPR thing, I think it stands for Dream Perfect Regime.
Okay.
And they've been kind of, I think, independently putting out music
hmm
together, but also separately. So like they perform together, they make videos together, but they also have their own album releases under each name,
Okay.
and they'll like feature on each other's solo albums.
Right.
So it's this whole collective thing where it's like two friends who are in like the like DPR Live. He was in a boy group before, which is now escaping me.
hmm
But he's now solo, and I become a fan of his too. One of his songs is on my top. songs from this year. So they both put out albums this year. But anyway, so DPR Live is like a rapper, and then DPR Ian is a vocalist, and
so it's kind of like an M-Flow kind of a vibe, really, when you think about the dynamics of it.
Yeah, exactly.
With Taku as the producer, Verbal as the rapper, Lisa as the vocalist. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's really like kind of comes across in the No Blueberries track, where Ian is the vocalist, and then DPR Live has a verse in it, and CL is singing I guess you would call it like the pre-choruses on No Blueberries. But anyway, I was so obsessed with this video, and then he kind of followed it up this year with this song I am obsessed with, and you guys know I hardly ever talk about male artists. So for me to like stan male artists
is rare.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
I would say it's remarkable, and I have a couple on this list. So the more I watched DPR Ian, the more I was impressed by him, because he is just kind of like this quiet, like reserved guy, but he's covered in tattoos. Like he's just kind of like this anomaly, like the way he looks doesn't match really his personality. And there's kind of the stereotype where models are like very bimbo-ish.
Yeah.
And definitely it has proven true a couple times, but I was very surprised when I came across him, because I've heard of him before under the name Christian Yu when he was a model. And then when he came back as DPR Ian, he was like obviously rebranding and stuff with the different name. But he will post these little live videos where he just like riffs on random lyrics he comes up with, and like it's kind of genius. And I'm not like, I know people will look at him and be like, oh, you're just saying that because he's so hot, but it's like I genuinely think he's very talented, and he has like that artist soul that comes out in his music. And he had a very big year this year as well. So the reason he's tied in with CL is because of No Blueberries, but basically what I gleaned from the internet is that DPR Ian's management reached out to CL's and asked for her to kind of like collab with him and maybe mentor him in a way. So that seems to be what's happening, where Ian also appeared in CL's video for 5 Stars. And ever since then, I have been so obsessed with them. Like, I just want them to get married and stay together forever. And this year, they both appeared at a music festival in California. Head in the Clouds. And
nice.
Yeah, I was stoked about that because they did a live stream of the whole show for free. So I watched most of that. I definitely saw all of DPR Ian and Live's performance. They came out together. So again, they're like separate artists, but they also like always work together. So, but it's just so interesting how they also seem to be incorporating like storytelling into their music videos. And yeah, I really can't recommend it enough. It's just a really interesting thing coming out of K-pop. Also, DPR Ian doesn't really sing in Korean. He's not super confident in his Korean. His whole album is in English. Yeah. So I've been very, very obsessed with this song that he put on his new album called Scaredy Cat. And again, the video for that, I wish he would explain it, but he probably never will. But it's like tied in with the No Blueberries video somehow. Like he has this ring that has like an eyeball. It looks like it's made of an eyeball. And then like whatever. I don't have to go into like my theory of like what I think the story is behind the videos, but they're definitely worth checking out and just taking a peep at those. But I really love his music. I love his whole album. But anyway, so it was a really big deal for him to come to Head in the Clouds because he said he was too scared to ever perform live. And he finally did it. And it was like really good.
Aww.
And then, so he and DPR Live did their set, and then a couple sets later, like CL comes out and she does her big, like, legendary set. She slayed.
Yeah. I
She,
think you sent me the link to that actually.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm watching CL right now, or I'm watching CL tonight, and like,
Yeah. I
um,
remember.
one of my friends was actually at the show to see her.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she slayed, and that was just really
Yeah.
exciting too. Is like seeing there's a whole mix.
Her finally get her due.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
like everyone kind of like gassing her up in the crowd, and like um she played like some of her older singles and then like a lot
Mhm.
of the songs off of the new album as well.
Yeah.
And then she was joined on stage by DPRE and DPR Live, and they performed No Blueberries. Everyone like went ape shit.
I love that. Yeah. I loved that when I saw it. Yeah.
And yeah, that was just like such an iconic moment.
You'll have to send me the music video though, because I haven't watched any of the music videos that you're talking
Oh,
about. So
I'm sure you'll get just as obsessed with them as I have and be trying to like put the puzzle pieces together.
probably. I mean, you know me, so
Yeah, so I don't think I even said the name of his album, but it's called Mito, Mito, um, which I believe stands for mental breakdowns in this order. And my favorite songs that I placed on my playlist from that were Nerves and Scaredy Cat. And
yeah.
again, I didn't put No Blueberries because it's from 2020, but
Hmm.
that's still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And then DPR Live, my favorite song by him is Summer Tights. Again, another title that makes no fucking sense.
That seems
But
to be a theme here.
okay, if you put some weird nonsensical title on a song or a book, I will check it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like one of
Hmm.
my favorite books is The Knife of Never Letting Go. And I was like,
By Patrick Ness.
yeah, I was like, what the hell is that title? Give me that now.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm done talking about them for now. So, is there anyone else you want to talk about, Matthew?
All right. So the second to last one that I have is Birdie, and in particular, her album Young Heart.
Mm-hmm.
This album was one of the first two vinyls that I bought this year because I was just absolutely obsessed with it from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Birdie herself has been around since like 2011, so she's not a new artist anymore. But she's
Mm.
always just had this really kind of ethereal, like kind of relaxed vibe. And that comes through in her music. Her voice is beautiful. Her songwriting is uh, deceptively simple because it's one of those things like most ABBA songs. They sound simple, but they actually are, really deep. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with this album, and I'm like, I need to get this on vinyl. So when I first went back to my local record store for the first time since COVID, like 2.5 years, I made sure to pick this one up.
So, what kind of genre would you say she is?
She's kind of like a folk alternative. Think of if Brandy Carlisle and maybe Bjork had like a musical child. This would be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I view her. She initially rose to prominence through her cover of Bon Iver's "Skinny Love," which is one of my favorite songs
Okay,
ever. I love Skinny Love, and specifically her cover of it is beautiful.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's from, like I said, 10+ years ago, but my God,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I really like folksy stuff, so I'm surprised I haven't really listened to her before.
yeah. She's really fantastic. Another really fantastic British artist.
Oh, she's British.
Yeah.
I feel like not a lot of folk comes out of Britain.
Yeah, there's like some Ed Sheeran stuff, and that's really kind of it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so next on my list is Flopayumi. No, wait, Kodakumi. Wait, I realize Flopayumi is usually what we refer to Ayumi, but
yeah. It's usually Flop Yumi Hamasaki or
yeah.
whatever.
What's a good name for Kodakumi? Well,
We'll think on that.
Yeah. I'm just seeing here now. I put another DPR Live song on here, Hula Hoops. That is my second favorite song by him.
Oh, nice.
So Kodakumi, a lot of these songs actually, I was thinking, came out in like the last 2 months of the year.
Yeah.
And none of those songs show up on your Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is really annoying. Like, I found a lot of my favorite songs in the past month.
Yeah.
So anyway, I really was impressed by. I don't really know what this is. The title is the ballad Hyaku no Kodoku Michie? Maybe?
Yeah.
Really pretty cover, although it's a little dated looking.
Is that the one that you just recently put out? Like the 100 something? Yeah.
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 It's
I can't pronounce it either.
But yeah, I really like that ballad. I think a lot of fans have been talking about her voice lately. And definitely there has been like a marked difference in her voice compared to like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Not too sure if it's just like overuse or I don't know what is going on there. But what I liked about the ballad is that you could definitely hear like a lot of emotion in it. And so I thought, this one will definitely go in like the Hall of Fame of like Kodakumi tearjerker ballads.
Yeah, I felt the same way about the song she released. Was it last year? Run? Run was beautiful. Oh my god. And the music video for that actually had a budget. Thank you, Lord.
It's a miracle. And she released a few songs recently that I also liked, but just not as much. They were 4 More, Will Be Okay, and To Be Free.
Right. I wasn't a big fan of Will Be Okay, to be honest.
Yeah, I found all of them kind of just like standard fare from Kodakumi.
Yeah.
Nothing stood out to me. And then like she put out one other Doobity Doo or something, like Doobity Bop.
Something like that, yeah.
Which
do bop, something, I don't know.
Yeah. I hate it. The cover is heinous.
Yeah.
And
I
it
agree.
is not on my list.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you that that is like, she's gorgeous, and to do that to her, just no.
Yeah, just you have to try really hard to get an ugly cover like that from Kodakumi.
Yeah. For sure.
So I think we can probably expect an album from her in 2022, but
yeah,
I have not purchased her last 2 albums, so we'll see where we go.
Yeah. I mean, she's released so much over the past decade. I'm like, oh my good lord.
Yeah.
Like I don't like. I'm so like just intimidated by the sheer number of albums.
Yeah. Did you watch Cat is I'm gonna look like an asshole. Why is her name escaping me right now? I want to say Cat because I know Cat Tatoes is in her username.
Oh, Reika. Yeah.
Reika, yes, thank you. she did an unboxing of Kotokumi's best of collection that came out recently.
Yeah, that looked gorgeous. I will say that much.
Yeah, I kind of felt some FOMO for that. I was like thinking about getting it, but it was just so expensive
Uh-huh.
for
Mm-hmm.
the Blu-ray version, and I didn't want
Yeah.
to get it on DVD, so I just didn't
Yeah.
get either.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it was about $200 Canadian for the Blu-ray version.
Yeah, which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid like a lot of money for my Crystal K Blu-ray that I got recently, but I mean, I can justify that because I spent 8 years looking for it. So,
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of different because it's like a live show. So like the lives themselves are gonna be $90, but this is like a best of collection that I already have most of the songs from like the albums that I've
mhm.
collected.
Right, yeah. Mhm.
I do like having the Blu-rays, but yeah, I don't know. Fingers crossed I'll be able to get it someday. Maybe
Yep.
in Japan or something.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that you could have your name engraved in the cover, I thought was
Mhm.
so cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
like,
that.
yes.
Yeah, IU was doing that for the I think fan club edition of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um and she also has a new photo book out, Kodakumi, which I've been kind of going back and forth on if I should get it or not.
I mean, photo books are generally worth the money to me.
Mhm.
Just based on the quality of the paper and the photos themselves, and like you said, it takes a lot for a Kodakumi picture to not be absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
Like when she did the cover arts and the album art for uh Japanesque and Walk of My Life, especially
Mhm.
those two were like her visual peaks for me in terms
Yeah.
of album art. Like, holy, they're beautiful,
Mhm.
absolutely beautiful. So,
Um so yeah, we'll see what's coming from Kodakumi, and
hmm
I'm still a stan, just
a lot less
yeah, I like her older stuff a lot more than
her newer stuff.
recent
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
hmm
That's kind of like why I stopped reviewing her albums too, is I kind of like I don't really want to review an album where I don't really like it. Like I did do that for
Bon Voyage, I
and
remember.
yeah, Bon Voyage and then DNA and did I reviewed
I don't know if you reviewed Record or not.
I didn't know, because then
No.
I was like I don't feel anything for this album, so I don't really want to like put that out in a video because
Yeah.
what's the point in that?
Here's a question for you. Are you ever going to review Crystal's For You album? Because I know you talked about it when we went down to Toronto and met. That you were going to.
Oh, would you like me to?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that like a serious, legitimate question? Like
Well,
the more Crystal content in the world, the better.
it like in your mind, would you prefer that I review For You or one of her older albums?
Older. hmm
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, getting your take on like all yours, or maybe we could do like a revisit of Vivid or something.
Mhm.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I still sometimes think about asking her to like do an interview on my channel.
Oh God, please do, and let me be the co-host. Please do.
It scares me so much, but for you guys who don't know, she has appeared on another YouTube channel that, like, no shade to them, like, didn't have very many subscribers. So I was kind of shocked. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, would she appear on my channel then? You know,
Yeah,
not that like my channel is huge at all, but like,
you're over
uh,
two. I think you're over 2,000 subscribers now, right? Or just about that.
yeah, I think the channel she was on that I saw had like 100 and something. So yeah, I was like, whoa, Maybe I should just like DM her on Instagram. I don't know.
I mean, if she can like basically knock me over with acknowledging me multiple times now,
Hmm.
I think she'll answer you too.
Yeah. She always likes like my comments on her Instagram. She probably does that like consistently for everyone, but like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like she could be open to that. And also Leah Dizon is back.
Oh, is she back?
Yeah, not making music yet officially, but I kind of suspect she is. Um, she's very active on Instagram lately.
Now that would be fascinating because I've never been like a huge fan of Leah Dizon, but there's a couple of songs here or there where I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I can get with this.
Yeah, I'm a stan, and she's another one where I kind of think like, oh, I wonder if I could interview her.
Yeah.
I would love to like pick her brain about uh, entering the J-pop world.
Mhm. I mean, if we ever got a chance to interview Crystal together, oh my god, that would be.
Yeah, would you like be able to hold it together, or would you just be like screaming and crying the whole time?
I I I I would probably initially cry, but I would get it together. I would be
Yeah.
okay.
I'm really nervous. Like I'm scared that I'll just be like stuttering and not be able to speak or anything. So I just
Well, a lot of it would be we'd have to have good questions and stuff, right? So we could write the questions beforehand and just kind of
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But that would be awesome if it ever happened. Not saying it's going to, but
Hmm.
I mean, if that's something that you want to try, I'm absolutely
Oh, I
on
know for
board.
sure you are.
I'm absolutely on board.
Yeah. I already have thought of like a couple of questions I'd really like to ask her. But
Ooh,
yeah.
we'll have to discuss that when we get off the stream.
Yeah. Um yeah, where did we leave off?
Yeah, I think you were. I think we got kind of distracted. You were talking about Kodakumi.
Oh yeah, okay. So I think I wrapped up my thoughts on that.
Yeah,
Um was there one more that you
yeah. There
wanted to
was one
mention?
more that I wanted to discuss a little bit, and she's kind of an obscure artist, but I've loved her since 2018,
Mhm.
and she just put a new album out this year. It is Tara Lightfoot's "Considered a Speed" album, and Tara is a roots rocker from, I believe, Hamilton,
Mhm.
and everything about her uh, aesthetic and her music and her personality has really appealed to me. I first got introduced to her through the manager at my local record store, who is a good friend of mine, I'm happy to say.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, you need to listen to Tara Lightfoot. We were just getting this album, and you should give it a listen. And I did, and I'm like, holy crap, this woman's good. And this was back 3 or 4 years ago now. And
Mhm.
now she's back with a new album, and I really like a lot. It's kind of like like a it's like roots rock, but there's also like some experimentation going on with a lot of different sounds and styles and genres, and uh, I just there's something about her voice that just is so captivating too. Like it's very unique if you listen to it. So
I'll check it out.
yeah, I'll send you some of the music videos from her 2018 album because I think those are absolutely fantastic.
Okay, cool. We're gonna do like a music video exchange.
Yeah, sure. Unholy Triforce is in the chat. Hello, hello.
Hey, friend.
Hi. Says, I'm so sorry I'm late. It's okay.
Yeah, I think we are almost wrapped up though. So.
I think so. This is a record. I think we're gonna keep this under 2 hours. It looks like.
Mhm. I do have a couple more topics I wanted to bring up. So I think the last artist on my list we were talking about a bit off air was Tori Amos.
Right. Yes.
So another one of my faves. I got into her, I think right around the time I started listening to Utada Hikaru too. So when I was like 13, I was really getting into music and like developing my own music taste. So she put out a
new album.
Yeah, a quarantine album this year called Ocean to Ocean.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Matthew and I were kind of discussing that. We really kind of felt the same about the album when it came out.
Emily did like a whole thread on Twitter where she broke down her like initial thoughts to every single song, and I'm like, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I was listening to some of this today before doing the stream, like listening to my own playlist. But I'm kind of mad at Tori in a way for this release. Like, I don't like the cover.
No, yeah, I agree.
And I'm very sick of her like whisper singing, her little quiet singing that she does in this entire album. And she's kind of been doing it for a few albums now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched her Welcome to Sunny Florida live.
No, I haven't been able. I haven't been able to now.
Okay, that's another thing I have to send you. There's a song in particular I really like on that, but she in her earlier music she used to belt a lot more.
Right.
And she would bring a lot of like fiery passion to songs, and like I don't know if it was drugs, but like her songwriting was a little more obscure and like archaic.
Right, like going back to Little Earthquakes when she had songs like Silent All These Years. What if I'm the mermaid in those jeans of his with her name still on it?
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Crucify when she's talking about, you know, having the bowling ball in her stomach and the desert in her mouth. And
that was the first song I ever heard by her.
Yeah, and then Winter, which is still my favorite song that she's done to this day. That song is beautiful.
Yeah.
Where she's talking about like all of the horses going ahead and
oh yeah,
like the
that part was like
hair is gray and the fires are burning. So many dreams up on the shelf.
Yeah, the way she sings always like brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find her songwriting now on the last couple albums has been mostly like more literal and more accessible and not as abstract and strange, which is like
the part of her appeal.
Yeah, that's how I connected to her music. So it's kind of ironic that now that she's trying to make it more accessible that I feel a disconnect to it. And I just feel I feel kind of disappointed in it. But this album did give me a few really good songs. I did like the album overall.
Yeah, so did I.
It's certainly not like my least favorite album by her. Also, I just don't. She's never going to put.
Quick question: what is your least favorite Tori Amos album?
American Doll Posse.
Good choice. Yeah.
Is that yours as well?
Yeah, that is an overlong mess. There's a couple of good songs on it that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
I thought the concept of American Doll Posse was really like unique and enjoyable, but the execution of it left a little bit to be lacking.
Yes. I just have this memory of driving home from the music store with my mom and like putting on the CD for us to listen to. And I was like reading the track list as they came up and telling her the song names, and like in the middle of the album I was like turned to her, I'm like, the name of this next song is Fat Slut. She was like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I really enjoyed the song "Flowers Burn to Gold"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
on this album. The sound of it reminded me more of like Scarlet's Walk and that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
era, the sound from that era.
Right.
And then I also thought "How Glass Is Made"
Yeah.
was pretty good. And then um, "Birthday Baby" ended up being probably my favorite song on the album.
Same. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was so shocked that I saw most fans are saying the song is like unlistenable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to be contrarians anytime. So
Yeah. So
that song is amazing.
it was so refreshing.
Yeah.
Like such a weird tone and
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was so refreshing, especially given that I was not admittedly huge fans of the singles off this album.
Yeah.
I was not like I liked them okay,
Mhm.
but as far as singles went, like Native Invader for me, which was her previous album,
Mhm.
had a lot more memorable singles. Like I still can hum the melody to Cloud Riders, or I get
Mhm.
Reindeer King stuck in my head.
I love both those songs, yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So
Mhm.
as far as singles go, speaking with Trees, again, very literal songwriting,
Mhm.
and I liked it okay. I'm not like she was processing the death of her mother
Mhm.
in a very literal way, and I understood that,
Mhm.
and I liked it okay, and it just wasn't really memorable, or it didn't stick with me very much. And then
Yeah.
Spies, I was like, what the hell did I just listen to?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I still don't like it.
I liked it more in the context of the album,
Mhm.
and I think it's sonically interesting, but again, the execution of the song overall is lacking.
Yeah, spies is just such an odd word to sing.
Mhm.
Sounds like she's saying spice.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, and I listened to a couple interviews of her about the album, and she said that that song was inspired by her daughter being afraid of bats.
Like, where is a bat in this? Where do you get that?
I know. I was like, why didn't you make the song Bats? Like, just call it
Yeah.
Bats and like write about the bats flying around and tormenting your daughter instead of like
Yeah.
just saying spies like over and over in the chorus. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
flop.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
um, but yeah, so a friend of mine on Twitter invited me to a Facebook group that's like Tori Amos stag shit posting that they're an admin for.
Mhm.
So I was looking at everyone's reaction to the album on that, and yeah, I was shocked. Um, Nearly everyone in the group said that they hated "Birthday Baby," and it was like the worst song. And
Wow.
I couldn't even listen to it. I was like, should I comment that it's my favorite or?
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, do I really want to incur the wrath of people by saying
Yeah,
things?
yeah, especially like when you're kind of new in a group. It's like, do I want to interact yet? Like, is now the time?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I've been reading a lot of their opinions. It's a pretty active group, but a lot of people's opinions on like what their favorite albums are and stuff. And pretty much across the board, like everyone's favorite albums are like pre Scarlet's Walk.
Okay.
So like Little Earthquakes, Boys for Pele, To Venus and Back, Under the Pink are all like stan worthy like masterpieces. And then there's like a big divide over Scarlet's Walk.
I think Scarlet's Walk is brilliant.
Yeah.
It is one of her best albums for sure. In fact, I would say it is her best album.
Yeah, I would say it's my favorite album. I definitely see a lot of like the artistry and merit in her previous albums.
Mhm. Like we were just discussing Little Earthquakes and the songwriting and
Mhm.
the belting and the emotion in a lot of those songs.
Mhm.
And one of the songs from there that really still gives me goosebumps is Me and a Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way she sings that a cappella, and her voice in that song is so brave,
Mm-hmm.
especially given the subject matter, because it's very, very triggering.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
And it's just for her to put that out there
Mm-hmm.
as one of her first songs and as a single, and then just to sing it a cappella and
Mm-hmm.
let the pain in her voice really shine through.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so brave.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Unholy Triforce said, being new in a group is really triggering to my social anxiety. Like, I never know how to enter a conversation, and I don't want to alienate anyone with my opinions right off the beat.
You
Exactly.
got it. Yeah.
Exactly. Whenever I
Mhm.
enter a group, I'm like, I'm not sharing any opinions. I'll just start by liking other people's and like wait it
Yeah.
out from there.
Yeah. For me, I'm kind of the same where I'm just like I'll observe for a little bit
Hmm.
and I'll like people's opinions, or else at most I'll say, I agree with this or that and whatever. Because I
Hmm.
figure if someone else is saying it, then it takes a lot of the heat off of me.
Exactly.
Right.
Um, I did jump in someone in the like what is your most hated album or like the worst Tori Amos album thread. There's a lot of people saying Tales of a Librarian.
That is a greatest hits collection. What on earth?
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, well,
It's a greatest hits collection. Like,
and then also there's quite a bit of hate for The Beekeeper.
ooh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And I did jump in there. I was like, The Beekeeper might be my second favorite album. I don't even care. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is.
um, but yeah, definitely my high school life was like her earlier albums. Even though I didn't have them, I like burned random songs that I found on LimeWire to discs.
Oh,
Um,
trust me, I remember the days of LimeWire very well.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so very happy. Most of my faves who are currently active
Yeah, same.
uh, made appearances this year, if not with full albums and with singles.
Yeah.
Um, was there another artist you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. That's all the albums that I brought up.
Oh, okay.
So,
I have one last one on my favorite songs playlist
ooh, goody.
that, yeah, I literally just remembered like before we went live as well. But Nariaki Obukuro.
Right, yeah.
So I know a lot of people in J-pop don't really vibe with him. They find him a little boring, or like his first album was too inaccessible. Um,
They think Bunritsu no Natsu. What was the name of that album?
Bunriha no Natsu, I think.
Bunriha no Natsu. Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. Okay. They thought that was inaccessible, really.
Yeah. Um,
That's very true. Unholy Triforce in the chat here.
yeah.
I've heard that Tori Amos can be incredibly polarizing for people. Even if they love her music, they can be very divided over what they love and what they hate. Yes.
Yeah. Her fans are very passionate, so I will give them that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with any group of fans, there are some that are like a little overly vocal about their negative opinions and like yeah, there's like this certain group of people that just comment on how she looks all the time, which I of
Yeah.
course find very annoying.
Yeah.
Especially on like aging women, there's a lot of critical voices out there on aging women in pop music and
Yeah.
Hollywood and stuff, and yeah,
It's just ridiculous. The
hmm
societal beauty standards need to change.
yeah,
And,
like
and and we need to allow women to age gracefully,
hmm
because uh, a lot of people were remarking on going back to ABBA. A lot of
hmm
people were remarking like at least they sound the same, but they look so different. I'm like, what did you expect?
yeah,
And they're both like beautiful older women.
Mhm.
And it's just like they've aged naturally. There's been very little, if any, work done at all.
Mhm.
And it's just like, that is what I want to see. Because that is actually a good example for people as opposed to the very toxic body images that you often see today.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't get the whole, like, I've never really understood that, because,
Yeah.
like, no, it just doesn't compute with me. Like, someone is who they are, they look how they look, you know, if someone wants to get uh cosmetic surgery, that's their right, that's their
Mhm.
choice, and they're free to make that choice, or not, and either way that should be respected.
Yeah, but it seems like either way you don't get any respect. It's like if you get some work done, then you look like a freak, and if you don't get enough work done, then you're aging horribly and, you
Yeah,
know.
it's you just can't win. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well,
It's like
you can't have it both ways, in my opinion.
it's like Renee Zellweger, like, when she was at, like, peak popularity, there was
Mhm.
so many tabloids on her about how strange looking she was, and, like,
Yeah.
she got a nose job because of it, and then when she stepped out with a nose job, all the tabloids are like, "Oh my god, look at her nose job. She's so insecure. She got a nose job." It's like, and she, like, came out in interviews and was like, "I got a nose job because everyone said I was so weird looking, and now they say I'm weird looking because I got a nose job." Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
Un somewhat related, her performance as Judy Garland in the film Judy,
Mhm.
which won her Best Actress deservedly, is brilliant.
Oh,
If
I
you
haven't
haven't
seen
it
it.
Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Judy Garland is, like, the ultimate icon, in
Mhm.
my opinion, or one of them, and, she just captured her perfectly, so
Mhm.
yes, Unholy Triforce, I agree with this. Keep an Eye on Dan gets a lot of hate online for people claiming that it's not an ABBA song. It should never have been recorded, that it doesn't make sense, but it's my fave song, I don't care.
Mhm.
Yes, Keep an Eye on Dan is a song from Voyage, and Unholy Triforce and I went back and forth uh, certain things, and one of the things that we went back and forth on is the people who are just kind of casual fans of ABBA, who only listen to, like, their big hits,
Mhm.
are not the ones that this album was made for.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, unless every song is Dancing Queen, that's their measure of success
Mhm.
with an album. And it's not. I mean, ABBA's got up-tempos like Dancing Queen. Yes, they do.
Mhm.
But they also have introspective ballads like Fernando and Chiquitita and Thank You for the Music, and a lot of really great, like, lesser known singles like Under Attack and things like that. So, like, I don't get, it's like it's like I was saying, like, it's like I was saying earlier, it was like we wanted them modernized, but if they modernized their music, then they would be alienating the fans that didn't want them to change.
Mhm.
And so it's like they couldn't win either way, so they just put up the music they were happy with, and thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So they're saying that song "Keep an Eye on Dan" is, like, not authentic to them, or
Basically, yes.
hmm.
But it was interesting when we were listening to the album Unholy Triforce and I when it dropped. I said to Unholy Triforce immediately, this is the perfect song for Enyefa Feltzkog,
Mhm.
who sings the lead vocal on that song, because Enyefa Feltzkog did like The Winner Takes It All, for example, and it's the same kind of, like, really emotional kind of storytelling song that she has always really excelled at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get the hate for that song. I don't get the hate for the album generally that I've seen, and it's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my favorite song on The Visitors is a really camp song called Two for the Price of One. It's a really cute, funny song. Yes, it is. Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, going back to Nariaki,
Right.
he did put out an album this year. He's calling it an album. It's kind of a mini album.
Yeah, it was more of an EP.
I think he's just independently putting out stuff that he just likes at this point. I'm not sure if he's still signed to anyone, but the latest album is called Strides.
Right.
And it's somewhat similar to his previous album, Piercing, from 2020. One of my favorite songs, and I think he was saying it's one of his as well, if I remember correctly, or it was like some other fans' favorite songs, is Butter. Let me see. But yeah, I think if you listen to Piercing, it is pretty well in line with that. The song of that. I also like the song Parallax. But yeah, I feel like I'm not getting as many bites for Nariaki as I did with Tori Amos. Like, whenever I like share Nariaki on Twitter, I see some people like talking about how like such a snooze fest or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really into him. I think he's a musical genius, as I said before, and I hope he's done some work that we haven't seen yet on Utada's new album. I know that he did work on production for Pink Blood, I think it was.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I think they work super well together, and
I agree.
Yeah, I am a major stan.
Dating back to he did Tomodachi with Hickey, right?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, and then she jumped and did Lonely One, I think, was the song on his album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think they're both musical geniuses, to be honest with you.
Oh, of course.
100%. 100%.
Unholy Triforce says, I honestly haven't heard much past Nariaki's first album yet. Sorry. He's really talented, though, and I hope he does some new tracks with Hickey as well. Yeah, hopefully we get lots of album tracks on Bad Mode, and Nariaki has a hand in a couple of them, maybe.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I don't know, because, like I said, the single releases for this era have been so staggered. And it's like, what's going on? So it's like, I don't know.
I am a little nervous for it too, but
yeah, I mean, I know on like the surface, I'm gonna love each of these songs because I've loved all the songs that I've heard from Hickey over the past however long it's been, but it's just like
2 years.
2 years for this, like really?
Yeah.
You could have at least given us more new stuff to work with that we haven't heard.
Well, we'll see how many album tracks there are. I think there's 7 singles as of right now.
Oh, God.
So if there ends up being like 10 tracks in total, I'm going to be a little pissed. But
right. Same.
I already ordered 3 copies of it, so...
Oh, right, because you did the standard, and then the Blu-ray, and the DVD, and then the Amazon exclusive.
Yeah.
I did too. I did the DVD, Blu-ray, CD, and the Amazon exclusive with the... What were they calling it? The Mega something?
Mega Jacket.
Mega Jacket, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you heard of that before?
No.
Yeah, I just started seeing that recently. And then I had one of my viewers email me and ask about it. Like he was saying, he was trying to buy a vinyl and it says Mega Jacket on it. So he was like, "Does that mean um, it's bigger than a normal vinyl?" I was like, "I don't think so." Like from everything I've seen on Japanese Amazon, is that they use Mega Jacket to describe anything bigger than a CD, like a standard CD case.
Okay.
So it's like the limited edition CD that have like the bigger cases, and then vinyls also are both called Mega Jacket.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I ordered it, I had no idea what a Mega Jacket was. I just knew it was a
Mhm.
different thing, and it was an
Yeah.
Amazon Japan exclusive. So obviously,
Mhm.
I double dipped for it. And if there's a vinyl, I'll triple dip. But
Yeah, I will too. I have to get everything.
yeah,
Emily, you and I are totally on the same page about the number of singles versus the total number of tracks on the album. I really want there to be at least 13 tracks.
same.
Like,
Yeah,
if there's 12, it's still a little bit too few. Utada
I
was saying,
I
go
think
ahead.
13 to 16 is a good number.
Yeah, I really want there to be like 16 because Utada was saying she was working on an English version of Kimi ni Muchu, I believe it was.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she was saying she's trying to finish it. So, like, I'm kind of shocked that there's still stuff in production when the album's coming out in like
3 weeks, I
yeah,
think.
21 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, hopefully we get that. So I'm hoping we get like a couple. I mean, I'm not hoping, but I'm expecting to get a couple versions of some of the songs.
Yeah.
So like,
If the 16 tracks are just gonna be like remixes tacked on the end of the album, I'm gonna be pissed too.
yeah,
I don't want that.
yeah. Like I was saying, I fully expect that remix of Beautiful World to be on
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What was the song? Was it the no? Was it the Kingdom Hearts song that they said was going to be included on there?
Uh. Yes.
Face My Fears. Yeah,
Right. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think I did talk about that in my video, but some fans were really shocked that that was being included because
Yeah.
it's kind of like in the past album era, even though it wasn't included on that album. But I don't know.
Right.
I totally expect it to be included. So I think we really should expect like 16 tracks on this,
Mm-hmm.
including like different versions and remixes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I have no clue what's gonna happen, but we won't
Yeah.
have to wait. Like you said, we won't have to wait long to find out. So
Hmm. There was one more thing in music news that I wanted to just commemorate in this video to wrap up the year,
alrighty.
which is that Britney is free.
Yes. I was wondering if we were gonna get to this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. That
Yeah.
is yes.
Yes.
One of the biggest stories in music this year for sure.
Hmm.
And I'm so happy that she's able to do things on her own terms now.
Yeah. Very happy for her. I I am just loving her Instagram presence now. How like much she's been dragging her family and other people have mistreated her. So.
It she just it feels like like I said, she's so much more. She's free now,
Hmm.
and that reflects because you can just feel this lightness to her that
Hmm.
wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And I remember you sent me a Instagram post that she did where she was showing off her vocal range.
Hmm.
And it's one of those things where you honestly forget Britney has a vocal range because she's been singing in the baby voice for over 20 years.
Yeah. Well, her like voice double has been on her records for quite a number of years. I forget her name, but yeah.
Yeah, and
Brittany did say she's working on a new song on Instagram, so
yeah, the fact that she just casually dropped that in at the end, like a
mhm,
PS, a new song is in the works or something, like,
mhm,
what an icon.
yeah.
Brava.
So I'm excited for that. I really hope she does come out with new music
Yeah,
and just
like, I'm just excited to see what her next album is gonna sound like, knowing that it'll be the first that she's had full control over since probably 2004.
mhm. Yeah. I'm very excited for her to just live her life and finally
Yeah,
have it to herself
for
and
sure.
have the truth come out now about what happened to her with like getting her baby taken away and that whole thing with like the breakdown because of the paparazzi and like
Hmm.
um
Yeah,
I would just I would like if people would stop calling her crazy and like talking badly about her.
yeah,
And I don't know, personally I just really want to show support to her and like um try and understand that it can be really confusing and overwhelming and
right,
strange to be in charge of your life for the first time after basically being in captivity for most of your adult life.
right.
And so I just want to show support to her and be non-judgmental towards like her decisions and
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think we need to like trust in her as a grown adult to take care of herself and basically give her that free reign that she hasn't had.
Hmm. Oh, good question here. Brittany is finally able to do so much, and I'm so happy for her. Has she ever had full creative control over her music, though? Because when she started, her albums were kind of controlled by the label and her dad too, I think. Good point. I,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
I don't know if like I feel like certain songs she had more input in than maybe others.
Hmm.
Like for example, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. I'm a slave for you. Those all felt uh, very like authentically Britney to me,
Hmm.
as opposed to and I love her early material. Don't get me wrong, but as
Hmm.
opposed to like Baby One More Time or Sometimes or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Or what was that one like even Oops I Did It Again or something,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of musical direction this new song takes, and hopefully we get a new album
Hmm.
too to see what she's really capable of when she sings, because there's no doubt in my mind after watching that post that you sent me, that
Hmm.
video, that she can sing.
Yeah.
100% she can sing. She just hasn't had the ability to be able to do that, other than like one little thing where she did it during her Vegas residency, where she sang Bonnie Raitt's song, Something to Talk About.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be very interesting to see. Does the baby voice stay? Does it? What's the music sounding like? I don't know, but we're gonna
Yeah.
find out.
I think we're gonna hear her deep voice again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be nice.
But yeah, kind of racking my brain now. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
And we kept it to just under 2 hours, apparently.
my god. I'm feeling a little scratchiness.
Yeah, same. I've been drinking water all throughout this, but I'll definitely go
Hmm.
drink another bottle or so
Yeah, me
and put
too.
myself on vocal rest for tonight.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Yeah,
Shout out to Cops Schmertzen, sorry, who did jump in and comment in the chat at one point.
yeah,
And thanks to Unholy Triforce and Jamal and Becky for coming and showing your support. I really
yes.
appreciate you
Thank you
guys.
so much. And we will see you now in under 48 hours. I think it's like 46 hours. We will be seeing you over on my channel, which is linked in the description section down below.
Mhm.
So be sure to subscribe to that, enable notifications, and we will be talking about all of our favorite books. I think we have the same favorite book this year.
Yeah.
Which I'm incredibly pleased about.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope to see you guys over there on Matthew's channel in 2 nights. At the same time, right at 8 p.m. Eastern time?
8 p.m. Eastern, yep.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday and a very happy new year.
All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.